We're going to call the Wednesday, September 6, 2023 commission meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Presiding Commissioner Bob Houston.
Present.
Associate Commissioner District 1, Monty Kisner.
Present.
And Associate Commissioner District 2, Ryan Johnson.
Present.
Please rise for the pledge. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Any motion to accept the agenda as presented?
So moved. Second.
All in favor? 3 votes for, 0 against. Any motion to approve the minutes from August 30th, 2023?
Second.
All in favor? 3 votes for, 0 against. Resolution 23-83, a resolution approving a cooperative share agreement for the Prairie Lane Transportation improvements with the city of Raymore. I need a motion.
So moved. Second.
So what that is a cost share agreement with the city of Raymore. Portions of that road is theirs. Their total is going to be around $94,447.13. So we're working together with that city to finish the completion of that road, which would be nice with that new roundabout up there. Hopefully this next year we're going to work with them on a couple other roads up there. So any other questions?
Looking forward to this one getting done.
Yeah. All in favor of resolution 23-83? 3 votes for, 0 against. Resolution 23-83 passes. Resolution number 23-84, approving a memorandum of understanding with the city of Archie, Missouri for jail services. I need a motion.
So moved. Second.
Welcome back.
I'm back again.
I've seen you away.
This one is the same MOU as Garden City and Peculiar we had last week, 2 weeks ago. It just says that we're going to house their municipal inmates for a fee of $75 a day. That's for the sheriff's office.
All right, any questions? Thank you, sir. All in favor of resolution 23-84? 3 votes for, 0 against. Resolution 23-84 passes. Cass County Collector's Office requesting disbursement of 2022 tax sale money, certificate of purchase number 22-22, cell number 195. Taxpayer name Catherine LaHoo in amount of $5,967.66, payable to Jared Jameson. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Chris.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Captain LaHue was the taxpayer. Thankfully, she was able to come in and redeem before the 1-year anniversary, and so this is simply requesting the surplus for the real estate investor, Mr. Jameson.
Okay. Any questions for Chris? Thank you, Chris. All in favor of distributing the 2022 tax sale monies for tax sale number 195? 3 votes for, 0 against. Thank you, Chris. Don't go too far. Cass County Collector Office requesting disbursement of 2022 tax sale monies, certificate of purchase number 22-42, tax sale number 310, taxpayer name John Bond Trust, in amount of $20,447.56, payable to Gerald Luke. I need a motion.
So moved.
Chris?
This is also from the 2022 tax sale. Trustee for Joan Vaughn Trust. They're in Creekmore. It's a vacant lot. There was a house fire. The trustee did finally get their act together. Well, they'd been working with the attorney. We've been working with them for 11 and a half months. They did come in. So this is the surplus paid by the real estate investor, Mr. Luke.
Any questions for Chris? Thank you, Chris. All in favor of distributing the 2022 tax sale monies for tax sale number 310? 3 votes for, 0 against. Cass County Collector's Office surplus claim 2022 tax sale certificate of purchase number 22-36, an amount of $14,243.22, payable to Amy Connor. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Chris?
This is a little different. This is a request for surplus. And so this is a property, a lien that was sold in 22. Ms. Rubel is deceased, and so we conveyed a collector's deed to the real estate investor, H&H Homes out of Grandview. The good news is the heir is entitled to the surplus funds. So while trying to find Mrs. Rubel, we found her daughter, Miss Connor, who is a traveling cardiac nurse in Montana. We hired a private investigator and we found her at this hospital. So I've been in touch with Ms. Connor on several occasions. That was her childhood home. I feel very good about this. Statute would make her eligible to receive the surplus, and she has signed an affidavit, which is included in the agenda today.
Any questions for Chris? Thank you, Chris. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All in favor of refunding tax sale certificate purchase number 22-36? 3 votes for, 0 against. Passes. Thank you, Chris. At this time, we'll open the podium for any public comment. Please step forward, state your name, address.
Hello. Sorry, I ran up the stairs. I'm Jacob Saline. Address is 18012 South State Route BB, Pleasant Hill, Missouri.
18012.
18012 South State Route BB.
And your last name?
THELIN.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I actually am the new Parks and Facilities Director for Pleasant Hill, and wanted to come and present to you all today that we are just about to sign a contract with Rodmacher to complete an extension of our Mopac Trail around the city lake to Smart Road. So at this point, once completed, we'll have from the Katy Trail to Smart Road, and then around the lake to Smart Road. And so I've been here since about March of this year, and we fielded some complaints about the conditions of Smart Road to ride on, and it's unsafe for families and kids, which is true. But we would like to hopefully work with you all in the future and see if there's anything we can do to help to continue that road or continue that trail. So the goal of Missouri State Parks, as you guys I'm sure know, is to touch St. Louis to Kansas City together with the trail. And so Jackson County is working on some stuff to try to get it over to the county line. And then once we get this project done in about 45 days, with Pleasant Hill, we'll have done kind of maximized what Pleasant Hill can do. So just whatever we can do to help to do that trail. We're really excited to get that portion of the trail done on the lake though. So
Very familiar that there's several properties in the county it's got to cross to connect.
I'm sure.
I know you're a trails guy, you probably know the 4 homeowners up there on Smart Road.
They go call and complain. And the other thing is, I think, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Even if it's just something with improving Smart Road or something and putting a white line on it saying bike sign or something, whatever potential there is in the future. It doesn't have to be anything off-road, but anything to make that on-road portion safer or easy to ride on. So we get Boy Scouts to come out to the lake and want to go on the Katy Trail, but they don't feel safe with riding on that trail, on the Smart Road. So just wanted to.
Well, nice to meet you, Jacob. Thank you.
Nice to meet you as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who'd like to make a public comment at this time? Please step forward, state your name and address.
My name is Michael Scott. I live at 3804 East 185th Terrace, Belton. I'm here with my neighbor, Mr. Boyle, Ray Boyle. About 2 months ago, we were here visiting with you because we needed help. We've been down the road of trying to get the zoning department in Cass County to do their job. We'd absolutely no help from the governor's office or the state senator, the state rep's office. And just by accident, talking to a lady at Cass County government, she said that the board, you guys were the people we need to be talking to. So we came down here and presented all the issues about, we've got commercial businesses operating in our residentially zoned, single-family dwelling neighborhoods. And one neighbor in particular is a disaster area. It gets worse and worse every day. At that meeting, one of you, I think it was Mr. Johnson, said he was going to come by and take a look. I don't know what happened about that or what he saw or if he came by or not.
I drove by and took pictures and sent them to codes.
And later, after the meeting, we met out there and talked a little bit, and I mentioned the fact that I brought my letters my 2 letters I'd written but you all didn't want to make copies of them, but you asked that I maybe email them. I had those emails sent to your offices. My friend that on her computer, she sent them to you. To date, nothing's happened. In this amount of time, we've not, Mr. Boyle or myself have not received a phone call, a letter, a knock on the door, or anything relative to the problems that we're having. You assured us that you were the people that could handle this and take care of it. So I guess we would like to know what the heck's going on, what's the status, and what's going to happen, because I feel like, as I said in my last meeting that I was in, if this goes nowhere, the next letter I write, I'll put in the newspapers so everybody understands the kind of government that we've got here in the United States. We see every day the federal government failing at the federal level, but it's trickled down all the way through our system. You've heard the horror story about Marion, Kansas. You really don't know what happened out there, but it's a small group of people kind of like this that conspired against their own rules and regulations and raided a 98-year-old lady's house, and she ends up dying of a heart attack because of lies and deception. But it was corruption. They had five people on the panel. One of the people voted to support the rules and regulations on the books. And the other four voted to look the other way and do a favor for somebody. That one person, her house got raided a week later because she tried to do the right thing. But it sounds like everywhere we go, this is what we got. And it's just unfortunate that the American people are willing to accept nothing. We got a wide open border. We got all kinds of problems in this country. Dope's everywhere. We're not doing a damn thing about it. But we're here because we do care, and we want our property protected. We're abiding by the rules and regulations, but we see other pads being poured in our neighborhood. There's other signs up, building permits. There's other things going on, and I think there's more coming. And I'm trying to head this off at the pass here, and that's why we came in here, because it's going to get worse. What have you guys done? I guess that's the question. What have you done? What's going to happen?
So I can tell you, Valerie and them started a process that we can't just go out there tomorrow and tell the guy to get off his property and clean it up. It doesn't work that way. There's a process that goes through the court. If you want to write a paper letter, go ahead. That's fine, but she's doing the process down there. It takes several months to get through the courts before they'll issue a cleanup order. The courts are full just like everything else. It's just not, I wish we'd go out there and tell the guy, I wish he was a good neighbor and clean up like he should.
Well, what you're saying so far is just more government red tape. It's going to go to a court.
There's nothing I can do to go out there and tell him to clean that up without going through the court system.
Fine, okay, but so you go to the court, and what's the court going to do?
They can issue an order to clean that up, I believe, in Paul, what we're looking at for a nuisance order, or a nuisance.
Well, hold it. It's not just a matter of cleaning it up. They're operating a commercial business in a residential neighborhood. In those letters that I sent you, I spell out all the issues that they're violating. There's a laundry list of things they're in violation of. It's not clean the property up. It's get the commercial business out of the neighborhood. Now, what's it take for that to happen?
There's a process, and I'll have to ask Valerie where they're at it. But it doesn't happen in a week. I'm just telling you, we just took care of someone down south. They took 6 months, a year to get it cleaned up.
Well,
it's not going to happen overnight. We've talked to you about it. Have you talked to Valerie?
I don't even know who Valerie is.
She came up that day when we were up here talking to you through, and we gave you her number. And I've never received an email from you on those properties. If I did, maybe they got them, but I did not receive them.
Did none of you three got an email about the two letters that I sent to the governor's office?
I did not. I'd be more than happy to see them.
Well, I've got them with me.
You told me you emailed them to me. I've not received an email on it.
Well, I've got hard copies.
Okay, I'll take a copy of it.
Okay.
And then we'll get a hold of Valerie and see where it's at. My office is always open. You don't have to come to the meeting and say you threatened to put a letter in the paper. That's fine.
Well, we
come
want
back here and see me, and I'll be more than happy to go out there and look.
Well, we want some
when
action.
I went out there to look at, there's a process in that. If you come in, we've gone down there, Valerie, I'll drive down there with you, and we'll talk to you.
Well,
where's it at? Because we have a local attorney that we hired to handle the ordinance issues.
It seems...
Have you ever come up, have you ever called me since that meeting?
No.
Okay. I'll give you my number, I'll give you my cell number, you're more than welcome, because I don't like the problem either, but to come up here and complain about it like this, I'll be more than happy to take care of it.
No,
Come
I'm
up
not
and see me.
complaining, I'm asking you to
I
enforce
think
the
you're
rules and
complaining.
regulations that's on the books.
Okay.
Do
Why
it.
don't you come out and talk to me then?
How many times I gotta tell you?
You've never told me once, I was here at that meeting, Ryan and Monty talked to you.
I was here 2 months ago and said,
At
would
that
you
one
please,
meeting.
would you
You've never
please
contacted
get zoning commission?
Okay,
to
I'll
do
get a
their
copy of
job?
your letters afterwards, and let's go down and talk to her after the meeting. Do you have time?
I have time.
Okay, we'll take care of it.
But we want to see, what's the next step? When will we get a notification, a phone call or letter? When will we hear something?
We're dealing with that taxpayer, okay? Once we start dealing with it and we know where it's at, we can let you know.
You're dealing with that tax,
That's the gentleman that owns that property.
but you haven't,
We have staff that deals with that. I don't know where it's at in the
You don't
process.
know.
I know that they've taken pictures, Ryan went out and took pictures and gave them to it, but there's a process involved. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen 1 month, it takes several months.
well, it just seems typical that you got laws on the books and you won't enforce them.
Okay.
It's not like our southern border, just,
Well, I can't help with that either.
well, no.
So I don't know what-
Nobody can help America.
Have a great day.
We don't have any representation for a law-abiding citizen. We're forgotten.
Thank you. Does anyone else like to make some public comment? Please come to the podium, state your name and address. At this time, we don't see any more. We're going to close the public comment portion. Commissioner Communications.
I have none. Yeah, I heard from the folks up north about the landfill issue, and they asked once again if we would consider maybe funding some sort of a study related to the health impacts on, on a landfill on our northern border, and wondered if we might be able to schedule a work session to discuss that issue.
Absolutely. I'm sure as long as Ray Moore and Belton were involved in that and it was equally split, we'd consider a work session like this.
Just to discuss.
Yep. Any other Commissioner Communications? Need a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor? 3 votes for, 0 against, we are adjourned.
I'm sorry, I'm really working
Yeah, the letters. Would you please look, because I did not, thank you. I remember when you were up here 2 months ago.